congratulations first off on the film.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much.
And I guess the first question everyone wants to know is like, where did this character come from?
You know what? I mean, I know exactly where she came from. How she came to me is a mystery even to me. But 15, 16 years ago at the Groundlings Theater, she kind of popped into my head. And she popped into my head in the most fully realized. I knew very crazy things about her. Like, people were like, she's not real. And I was like, she is to me. I knew how she wore her hair. I knew her makeup. I knew her earrings. I knew she had to wear French tip nails. I knew how she dressed. It had to look expensive. She had to have jewelry on. She had red spiky. 15 years ago, I wore a turtleneck up to my jaw, red spiky hair. She looked very much like she does in the film. And I went into the audience and I wrote something where I was doing a seminar on how to make money. And she really hasn't changed. The spirit of her has not changed really at all. But I couldn't let the character go. I thought about her more and more over the years. I kind of kept expanding her backstory and where I think she was from. And, 8 years since I'd done her, since I'd played her at the Groundlings, I looked at Ben and I was like, I don't think she had a family. And he's like, who are we talking about? I was like, Michelle Darnell. He's like, from 8 years ago, you're still talking about her? I was like, I think she was an orphan. And he was like, we're going to have to write something because you don't seem to be able to let her go. And I'm fascinated with those kind of self-isolated people. Someone who doesn't need anybody, lives a very solitary life, is kind of, at least appears to be okay with money and power and no people. Because I always think it's the opposite of me. I want my dog, I want my family, I want my friends. I like everybody to be together, and so I look at those people and I always wonder, what's the bravado covering? If someone's that confident and that kind of bull in a china shop, I always think you're probably covering for something. And then once I start thinking about what is it, then I'm really hooked.
What's the collaboration like with your husband, Ben? You guys...
He's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we met. Ben and I met working and writing together at the Groundlings and performing on stage, and it just was always easy. It was easy from the very first day we met. We loved working together, and it's how we started dating, and then we got married. It's always been, we're very collaborative. There's no ego, and I think we're really lucky that we both almost always see the exact same thing.
What's the biggest challenge of putting the film together for you?
I think I think the biggest challenge of it is always with the comedy. I like to make sure that the comedy is not anything like a stand-up thing. I think you can't go joke to joke to joke to joke to joke to joke. I think you tend to, especially with bigger characters, if you don't kind of love the character in spite of themselves, I think it's hard to follow for an hour and a half. So I think you have to, it's a bit of a balancing act to let a character be maybe not so likable and then let them fall, and then have you made them likable enough that the crowd actually wants to root for them and hope that they get back up. And you have to be doing something wrong to improve on it. I mean, some people say, can't you just be nice at the beginning? And I said, there's no story. If she's nice at the beginning, what does she learn? Nobody wants to watch this for an hour and a half. I said, so it's a balancing act of how far can you push a character, how much of her flaws can you show and still make it really funny. Okay. And that's the ultimate juggling act that I think you do when you're trying to make a movie.
Final question: what's it like when you see the whole thing come together and you hear that audience laugh for the first time?
Dreamy, overwhelming. I mean, all the hard work, the years of working on a character, the years of writing, the years of making it and editing it and fighting for it. And then you sit in a room and you listen to people really, really kind of forget their troubles and laugh for an hour and a half. It makes you real, like, it's exactly why you do it all over again. You forget, it's like having kids. You forget the pregnancy, you forget the labor, and you go, oh, they're so cute. You do it all over again. It's the same with the movie. You hear people be happy and laughing like that, and it makes every second of that hard work worthwhile.